My name is Marie Turner, and I am the processor of the Nicholas B. Scheetz collection at the Booth Family Center for Special Collections, Georgetown University. Today, I'm thrilled to be speaking publicly about the collection for the first time and discussing some of its hidden gems. The Scheetz collection arrived at Georgetown in 2020, a gift of his widow Diana Pearson, and comprises the fruits of more than 30 years of active collecting. Scheetz began collecting while still an undergraduate in the early 1970s, and alongside his work as manuscripts librarian here at Georgetown, amassed a diverse and idiosyncratic personal collection reflecting a deep interest in Anglo-American literature, politics, and history. The collection is in three parts: rare books, pamphlets, and manuscripts. My purview today is the last of these, a collection encompassing 300 plus subseries of bound and loose manuscripts, documents, correspondence, journals, commonplace books, scrapbooks, and other materials. In and among the predominantly white, privileged, often even aristocratic voices that populate the Scheetz collection, I have identified several pockets of material that shed light on various minority or underrepresented histories and lives. In the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about two of them. While LGBTQ history was not a deliberate collecting area for Scheetz, queer voices do make themselves known in the collection, and none speak quite so loudly as a set of correspondence between Englishman George Barry Hornsby and his close friend and companion, Roger Bullock. Nearly 150 letters written from Barry to Roger trace their relationship from early 1947 through the late 1960s. The story begins in England and sees Roger depart for Seattle, Washington, where Barry joined him after an 18-month separation. An early curatorial file wondered if the two were brothers, but there is clear romantic sentiment here. Anticipating a visit, Barry writes, "It's Thursday and soon Saturday. Saturday equals you. You plus me equals heaven." And when Roger sails for America, he declares, "I shall love you sincerely and cherish you always. You have me, all of me, Roger, and I'd have it no other way." There is no explicit acknowledgement of their relationship, but Barry's words gesture toward an imagined queer future. When he secures passage to Seattle in 1949, he writes, "This meaningless separation will soon be at an end. I'm proud of both of us that in spite of the world, we have kept in front of us the possibilities of the future, which alone gives sense and reason for the time we are spending apart." It is known that the two lived together for some time in a house designed for them by noted architect Victor Steinbruck, though at some point their relationship shifted. Roger married a woman later in life, no children. Barry's 1999 obit notes he is survived by his, quote, longtime roommate, John, a fellow florist and AIDS activist. We are in the process of beginning reparative cataloging and description for our special collections, and the Bullock-Hornsby letters have provided an opportunity to consider terminology, subject headings, and other critical aspects of archival description. Ultimately, we chose to use headings from the Homosaurus linked data vocabulary rather than relying on the less robust options available under Library of Congress. Another highlight are two small collections of materials related to the history of Japanese internment. The first consists of correspondence by Japanese-American poet, memoirist, and librarian Toyo Tsuyamoto. The bulk of the letters are from the early days of internment, when Tsuyamoto, her parents, and her infant son were forcibly removed, first to Tanforan in San Bruno, California, and then to the Topaz War Relocation Center in Utah. Here are sharp details of incarcerated life: the need for scrap paper to keep out moths, the lack of pay for work. Tsuyamoto documents the removal of all Japanese literature, including her mother's prized book of traditional medicine, and laments her separation from her son when he was taken to an off-site hospital after falling ill from the poor conditions in camp. The letters are also marked by a dark poeticism. Quote, "There are tragedies taking place in camp because of the things we must go without and things we must bear, but I dare not dwell upon them. Someday when the war is over, these sad happenings may be no more than case histories." Indeed, this proved a self-fulfilling prophecy. In the 1980s, Tsuyamoto returned to Topaz and testified before the Commission on Wartime Relocation and Internment of Civilians. If Tsuyamoto's letters provide an often lyrical window into incarcerated life, the Hitomi family papers register the bureaucratic end of things. Approximately 45 letters, telegrams, and official documents chronicle the effort of Fumiko Rosie Hitomi and her family to be granted release from the Tule Lake War Relocation Center in California, where they were held between 1942 and 1945. The Hitomi's former teacher, George C. Kimber, acted as advocate, writing on their behalf to several government offices, including the Department of Justice, the War Relocation Authority, and the National Japanese American Student Relocation Council, providing letters of recommendation that underscore their American attitudes and loyalty to the state. These small collections are in conversation with other booth holdings related to Japanese internment and will hopefully be exhibited soon. I hope you enjoyed this whistle-stop tour, and we'll see you in the archive.